Hi lovely and darling viewers, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy, and this time I'm doing Epic Reads Valentine's Day book tag. I know that I did a Valentine's Day tag last year, but this one's different questions and I love them, so I felt like I really wanted to answer them. The link to the original video will be in the description below, as well as all the questions if you want to do the tag. Question number 1 is your first book crush, and honestly, I can't remember like the first character in a book that I first fell in love with. My first crush overall is Kermit the Frog from the Muppets. I love his like trying to control everyone and like this crazy gang and comedy, and he's really sweet and caring and cares very passionately about all his crazy kooky friends. I love the relationship between Kermit and Miss Piggy, and so I was in preschool when I first got this crush on Kermit. So, plus he looks super cuddly, which he is, in case you're wondering. This is very cuddly Kermit. Um, so that's my first crush. In my defense, I was like 3 or 4, so you know, being in love with a frog is just as logical as anything else. Book-wise, the first crush that I remember having is Uncle Gardner in the Samantha books from American Girl, which are written by Valerie Tripp, Susan A. Adler, and Maxine Rose Schur. Uncle Gardner is Samantha's uncle and father figure, and he's quirky and always is like looking out for like the next thing, and he loves life and totally get why his fiance slash wife is in love with him. So that was like one of my first crushes. And to be fair, Uncle Gardner is not my uncle or my father figure, so it's totally fine that I have a crush on him, right? Also, there's Laurie from Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I know I read this book after Samantha, like the American Girl books, because it's a bigger, more adult book, but still like elementary school, so I'm going to count this. But Laurie's kind of a similar character where he loves to have fun, and he's smart and kind, and just is along for whatever adventure he can get into with the March sisters. And I love him as a character. He's wonderful. Okay. Question number 2 is, what book would you want as your Valentine? So every year in February, I start getting cravings for lots of chick lit and romantic stories. So I have just finished reading Nadia Knows Best by Jill Mansell. This is British chick lit. It follows Nadia, who the book starts off with her getting stuck in a snowstorm with this guy Jay, and they have to share a room because they're in this small town and there really aren't any other beds. And so they sleep together but don't have sex together. And Nadia's like really proud of the fact that they didn't have sex. But then she goes home and her longtime boyfriend breaks up with her. And she regrets the fact that she didn't actually sleep with Jay because she could have, because the relationship clearly wasn't going to work out with her first boyfriend. And then a year and a half later, she and Jay meet again, and it's under these rocky situation where he's her boss. And I love this thing. And the ex-boyfriend comes back and is trying to win her back, and she's got to decide between Jay and the ex-boyfriend. So this one's charming, and I loved it. Totally good Valentine's Day read. And I'm currently reading I've Got Your Number by Sophie Kinsella. And I'm only in chapter 3, but so far it's about a girl named Poppy who loses her phone and her engagement ring on the same day. And she finds somebody else's phone in the trash. And so she's like, it's in the trash. It's like, they don't want it anymore. That's up for grabs, right? So she starts giving out the new phone number to people. And then the person who owns the phone starts calling it and be like, hey, why do you have my phone? And it actually belongs to this company and the personal assistant of this guy named Sam. And so she's trying to convince Sam to let her keep the phone. And I am digging this developing relationship in here. Like I said, I'm only in chapter 3, but so far I'm loving this book. Also, so this year I am hoping to finally read A Little Something Different by Sandy Hull, which is a love story told from multiple perspectives. So not just the two people falling in love, but kind of like the whole town watching it happen, which sounds cute. I like the idea of this different way of telling a story. And also Once Upon a Kiss by Robin Palmer, which is about this girl Zoe, who went to high school in the 80s, and then there's this accident and she ends up going to high school in the current day. And it just sounds really interesting, like this time travel aspect where having like the second shot, but like in a completely new scenario. I don't necessarily know if this one's a romance, but it's got a kiss in the title, so hopefully not disappointing. Question number 3 is candy hearts or chocolate? And I am totally all about chocolate. Please. Question 4 is what book would you gift to your true love? And that is what book would you gift to your true love? And that is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. This is my favorite book ever, so obviously I will give it to anybody and anyone. I love the multiple different stories that are happening here, but especially Buttercup and Wesley and their journey, which is great. It's also a great adventure story since my true love would be a guy, so I wouldn't feel bad. Like I wouldn't be like the same as handing him like Pride and Prejudice. It'd be like read this really romantic story. There's tons of sword fighting and magic happening in here too. And pirates. So I love it. I love everything about this book. It's wonderful. Also, it totally encapsulates like my sense of humor, which obviously my true love would have to have a similar sense of humor to me. Otherwise, we'd kill each other. So hopefully, they would also love this book. Question number 5 is your favorite rom-com, and right now that you've got mail, I really love romantic comedies, but this one is about 2 rival bookstore owners, and they start corresponding via email. They don't know they don't know who it is in real life. Like they're going by screen names, so they don't actually know who the person they're talking to in real life is. So they've got this relationship where they're confiding in each other, happening via the internet, and then in real life they're like butting heads. And I love watching the relationship develop like at these 2 different levels, and it slowly starts to come together. And it's charming, and the original movie Shop Around the Corner is also really good. Question number 6 is the best Valentine's gift you've received or want to receive. Pretty much chocolate's always good, and you can't go wrong with giving me a book. So I actually have an Amazon wish list set up with all these books that I've either read and loved and don't own, or books that I want to read, and so any book off that list would just be wonderful. Question number 7 is your favorite thing about Valentine's Day or your favorite thing to do on Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day is when I pull out all the romantic movies. I have curl up on the couch, get some chocolate. Hopefully the cat will sit with me and just watch movies. So my top 3 movies ever are all romantic classics. The first one is It Happened One Night, which has Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert, and it follows this rich girl who wants to marry this guy, but her father disapproves, so she runs away and then realizes she's not going to make it without her father's money. So she tries to but she's too proud to like just call her father and tell him where she is. So she starts taking this bus ride back up to, I think, Philadelphia. She starts somewhere in the South and is trying to get up to Northern City. And along the way, she meets Clark Gable's character, and he's this newspaper reporter who's trying to get the scoop on the runaway heiress, and just all the quirky adventures they get into, and of course they fall in love along the way because it's romance. And it's wonderful. It's incredibly charming if you guys haven't seen it. Next up, I have Sabrina. Both this version with Audrey Hepburn and Humphrey Bogart and William Holden. Totally know that. And the newer version with Harrison Ford in it. They're both wonderful. This one's slightly better. I love the classic black and white. But they follow this girl, Sabrina, who is the chauffeur's daughter for this rich family, the Larrabees. And she first has a crush on the younger brother, David, and her father is like, this is not going to go well, so he sends her off to Paris to get some schooling and have new experiences, and she comes back sophisticated and refined and grown up. And then she catches David's eye, and it would be great, except David's engaged to somebody else, a very important member of a family that the Larrabees are trying to do a business transaction with. So the older brother, Linus, who is all serious, tries to win Sabrina away from David. And I just love this whole romantic triangle thing going on here. And it's utterly charming, and I love it so much. Both versions are wonderful. And the last movie on my list is The Philadelphia Story, which stars Katharine Hepburn, Cary Grant, and Jimmy Stewart, which is like the best casting ever. And it's this quirky story about this rich family. Katharine Hepburn's character is supposed to be getting married, and less than a week before the wedding, her ex-husband shows up along with this newspaper reporter, and she is getting blackmailed, so she has to do this whole story that she doesn't want to do for this magazine. And along the way, like, she starts remembering why she fell in love with the ex-husband in the first time, and starts developing feelings for the newspaper reporter. And then we've got the husband in there also, so it's like this quadrilateral thing going on there, and it's just charming and quirky, and I love it. There's a scene where Katharine Hepburn's character gets really, really drunk, and it's just hysterical. I really love The Philadelphia Story. So, honestly, I can't pick my favorite. All three of these movies are amazing. So, any one of these is good. Good go-to. But back to the original question, just watching romantic movies in general is a good Valentine's Day activity. So there are my answers to the Epic Reads Valentine's Day book tag. I will link the description. So down in the description will be all the books and movies I mentioned, all the questions, and the original video. Feel free to do this tag if you want to do it. I tag you. If you film a video, or so if you've done a video or even just written it out in a blog, let me know. Link down to that, and I will check it out. Or if you feel really passionate about just one question, just fill that answer in the comments. Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. Peace out. I love you, and keep reading. Bye.